Okay, so you have probably heard that we are all about the nervous system at Pain Free Intimacy. So I want to share more about what it looks like to have a mind-body approach in healing vaginismus. So traditionally, vaginismus, which is an involuntary muscle reaction, either a burning, stinging, or that wall sensation upon something coming in, but vaginismus has been treated kind of like a pelvic floor dysfunction problem. And it is, but it's not just that, it's a whole body problem too. We are not just a pelvic floor, and vaginismus is not just affected there. And we know that because vaginismus is involuntary. And the involuntary systems are controlled by the autonomic nervous system. That is our involuntary nervous system. That's where things happen outside of our conscious control. And so vaginismus response is involuntary. So we need to target the involuntary system, the nervous system. So that's where the mind-body piece comes in. So much of vaginismus is related to a reaction from an event that our nervous system does. And so we have to, at every angle, kind of come into that at all elements of who we are. So mind, spirit, emotional, psychological, somatic, which is body movement, sensory stuff, and physiological. All of those systems are at play with vaginismus. And so we say mind, body, it kind of incorporates all of that. It's basically a holistic approach. That's what we want to target. The nervous system is a key component in that. So we need a nervous system that's working with us instead of against us with this. So what does that look like? Whew. Well, one of the reasons why we're in this struggle in the first place is our body has struggled with how to hold tension well. We go through this life and we live our everyday and we bring in tension from this world, whether that's an email that we forgot to respond to, or showing up late to our doctor's appointment and having to pay a fine, or whether it's like we circled the parking lot forever and couldn't find a parking spot and got stuck in traffic on the way home and we're hungry and we don't have anything in our refrigerator. All of that is tension kind of coming into our system. And we need to do something with that tension. We need to process it in a way so that we can dump it outside of our bodies. But so many of us have learned to kind of just like keep going. And so we take that tension in and we stuff it down and we stuff it down and we stuff it down. And guess where so many of us stuff it? In our pelvis. Our pelvis just becomes like a springboard for holding all of this tension. And so then we get a pelvic floor that doesn't know how to work with us. It's uncoordinated, it's holding a lot, it's tight to try and hold all this tension that's been stuffed into it. We hold tension in other places as well, but if you're here watching this video, odds are you are a pelvis tension holder. Some women hold it in, headaches or in their shoulders or in their jaws, and you might have all of those as well. A lot of my clients have jaws and pelvis, but you're probably here with tension in your pelvis, and that's where we stuff it. So we got to do something with that tension a little bit better. And that's a lot of the mind-body approach, is what can we do with that? The internet will tell you to do breathing, and I love breathing. Breathing is actually a really, really great tool, but it's a little bit more than just stopping and breathing throughout our day. We want to really support our psychological, emotional, nervous system state while we are circling the parking lot looking for a spot. We don't want to get to that elevated heightened state. We don't want to pretend like we're running from a lion while we're looking for a parking spot. We don't need that in that moment. So what can you do in that moment to find a parking spot without feeling like you're running from a lion? Maybe that's breathing. Maybe that's a mindset shift. Maybe that's having a somatic tracking kind of moment. Maybe that's doing some kind of physical body exercise, or maybe that's reciting scripture, or maybe that's spending time in prayer. Maybe it's turning the radio, something like that to be able to keep you from running from a lion and just keep you focused on casually looking for a parking spot, even if you're running late. So that kind of surmounting level of tension really matters. So we're going to work on that. But we're also going to do different strategies to help the mind to body and the body to mind connection be a little bit better. So we're limiting tension, coming in and doing something with it better, but we're also helping these pathways form a little bit stronger pathways. And so we're going to use mind strategies to help control pelvic floor, and we're going to use pelvic floor movements to help the brain and use back and forth. And we do this during dilating, we do this during partner stuff, we do this while we're looking for a parking spot, we do this all throughout our day. Our brain and our body are connected in a better way. I find that most of us women and most of society in the West are very cerebral. We're very good at thinking about things, and we're very much in our heads. And that's such a limiting factor because we have a whole body that is at our beck and call to be able to help us process this world better. And so we teach you how do you use your body in a way that takes in the environment and processes it and then sends that up to a brain that builds more lasting, healthy neural pathways that help us process our environments a little bit better. I know this is all over the place, but we do have it a little bit more simplified. On our website, we have a free guide called How to Apply a Mind-Body Approach in Vaginismus. It gives a little bit more of a simplified version of how you do mind-body work with vaginismus. Now, again, this is what our whole program is based off of, and so it's really hard to boil it down into one of these lessons, but it's so important in, yes, vaginismus, but also in life to be able to support our bodies and our minds better so that we can go through our day without feeling like we're running from a lion and have bodies that show up for us instead of fight against us. It's such a beautiful thing, and it's really transformative when we can figure that out, and it will help us with vaginismus and enjoying intimacy better. So check out our free guide at painforintimacy.com. Under our free guide section, we have a ton of guides there, but you'll want to get the mind-body approach to vaginismus guide, and that will probably come to your spam folder of your email, so just make sure you check your spam folder always. And then while you're there, let's go ahead and sign up for a free consultation so you can learn more about the deeper ways that we really work on mind-body to help our body feel supported better. I'd love to hear your story and just talk about what it looks like to get past this.